Okay, so sorry about them. That I haven't. I had to go about. I had to reset the stream. Come in. Oh, 1 second. 1 minute. Oh yeah, not at all. There. Thank you. 2 minutes. Not a problem. All right. All right. And I'm back, folks. Well, anyway, let's day we start this stream up. Oh, hello, Sienna. How you doing this evening? Well, anyway, wait, wait. Now start back start again. Oh, oh, I'm doing good. Like I said, I'm just kind of worked up because again, this is my first stream in a long while. Now, hope let's just say it didn't start off too good. However, that's about to change. Anyway, let's start this over from the beginning.
Are you excited about the Pokémon?
And again, had my laptop on mute. I mean, for real this time.
Are you excited about the Pokémon contest?
You bet. I can't wait until we get there. Skitty's going to be great.
Well, we still have a ways to go before we get there.
I know. And the sun's about to set. I hope we don't have to walk the rest of the way in the dark.
I wouldn't worry about that, May. I bet the moon will shine brightly enough to light our way.
How can you be sure? Some nights there's a lot of moonlight. Other nights you can hardly see it.
That's true. And some nights you can't see the moon at all.
I wonder if there is a way to know for sure if the moon will be out.
Sierra at the Learning League lab would know. Let's give her a call on the Poképilot. Hey, Sierra, can you help us out?
Now, to reiterate earlier, as you could probably tell, that was mostly KZ Rogers voicing him. Right. And, well, that, you might want, well, for those that weren't them there at the time, KZ Rogers was the actor who was initially the one who was going to take over as Ash, along with Max. However, due to the not so positive fan reception to the mastermind of Mirage Pokemon, those plans were soon changed, and instead they hired Sarah Natochenny to take over the role. However, it's pretty weird the Learning League was well into production when this decision was made. And so, at least for this lesson, for this one and Fraction, we'll get a taste of what the dub would have been like had KZ Rogers voiced him from the beginning.
Sure thing, Ash. What do you need?
We're trying to figure out if the moon will be out tonight.
Is there a way to tell?
Sure there is.
Why does it shine?
Actually, it doesn't.
What are you talking about? Of course it does.
We might call it moonlight, but the light doesn't actually come from the moon.
Then where does it come from?
The sun.
What? That doesn't make sense. Does it?
Lots of things reflect light. That means when light shines down on them, it bounces off. That's what happens with the moon. Sunlight shines on the moon, and the moon reflects that light down to Earth. So, moonlight is actually sunlight reflected by the moon. The only reason we can see the moon in the sky is because it reflects light from the sun. Well, sometimes the moon is a big circle in the sky, almost like a giant pizza. Other times, it's just a slice.
A pretty weird-looking slice.
Again,
Okay,
that is the
maybe it
weirdest
doesn't
way
look
to
exactly like a
describe the
slice
phases of the
pizza.
moon.
But you guys know what I mean. I'm talking about the different phases of the moon. The lunar cycle.
Lunar? Why don't we just call it the moon cycle?
Well, you're right. Lunar means something that involves the moon. So, you already know the moon looks different almost every night. That happens because the moon is always moving.
Where does it go?
It travels around Earth. The path it takes is called the moon's orbit.
Does the moon change shape as it travels?
Well, the moon doesn't actually change. It just looks like it does. As the moon moves, it can block sunlight. So we see less and less of it, or more and more of it, as it stops blocking sunlight.
And this is what you call the lunar cycle, right?
You got it. Let's take it step by step. At the beginning of the lunar cycle, the moon is in between the sun and Earth. When it's in that spot, the moon blocks sunlight instead of reflecting it. It's blocking sunlight, so it would look dark. We can't see it. This first phase, or change, is called the new moon.
But the moon doesn't stay in that one spot. It keeps moving.
Yep. A few nights later, the moon has moved enough to reflect a little light.
That's when it looks like that weird slice of pizza.
Ha! Right! You guys catch on quick. And that phase is called the crescent moon.
Let me guess what happens next. As the moon keeps moving, we see more and more of it.
Exactly. The moon looks like it's growing in the sky. That's called waxing. The moon keeps waxing as it keeps moving. Eventually, it moves behind Earth. Now, it's Earth that's between the moon and the sun. In that spot, the moon reflects a lot of light, and we can see all of one side. That's called the full moon.
How long before that happens?
It takes about 2 weeks from the new moon to the full moon. In this case, what grows bright must grow dark. As the moon continues its orbit, it moves from the light back into the dark. Now, the moon isn't waxing, it's shrinking or waning.
I bet I know what happens next. Back to that weird pizza slice.
Uh-huh. It's a crescent moon again. Before you know it, the moon has moved back to that first spot between the sun and Earth. It completely blocks sunlight. So it's a new moon again. And the whole thing starts all over again.
So that's why it's called a cycle? Because it repeats?
Exactly. It takes 29 days for the moon to complete its orbit. That's almost a month, which is why we see a full moon every month or so. Then it starts all over from the beginning. Hey, we've got a great
Thank you for
activity here at the
understanding.
lab that we use to help us figure out moonlight.
Why don't you try it? Click next.
Okay, before we continue on, I should address...
Are you excited?
Forgot it doesn't automatically pause. But anyway, wait, I should address how the structure of this stream is going to go. Well, it'll be broken up into 3 parts. Well, for the first two, for the first 2, I'll play through 3 lessons. Then on the third, for the third, and on the third. Alright. But anyway, well, now that I've got that settled, let's move on to the second part of this lesson.
Use your mouse to see the moon move through its orbit.
Yeah, you better get used to this, better get used to this,
See if you
folks.
can match each phase of the moon with the picture. That's right. The moon is between the sun and Earth. It blocks sunlight so we can't see it. That's right. The moon has moved away from the sun and reflects a little light. That's right. The moon is behind Earth and reflects a lot of light. That's right. The moon is starting to block sunlight, so it seems to shrink in the sky. Use your mouse to see the moon move through its orbit.
Hey, now on to part 3. Ha! Gotcha this time.
See if you can put these 6 phases of the moon in the right order. Drag each phase of the moon to its correct order in the spots 1 through 6.
Well, obviously it's a piece of cake.
See if you can put these 6 phases of the moon in the right order. See if you can put these 6 phases of the moon in the right order. See if you can put these 6 phases of the moon in the right order.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the easiest lessons there.
So now, you know all about the lunar cycle.
Great! Thanks for your help. See you later.
See you!
Bye!
So what do you think? Will we have a full moon tonight?
Let's see. It's been growing in the sky.
It's been waxing.
That must mean we'll have a full moon tonight, and we should have enough light to follow the road.
All right, let's get moving.
Come on, guys. Let's go.
Well, that was definitely a short one. But we got. No, Rocky still started some. Alright, what? Now that we've gone up through that Rocky Power match, let's move. It's time to move on to our the second lesson of the evening. This one's all about the small. Oh yeah. Oh, we had the brightest moon ever in the northeast last night. Oh really? That's very cool. Anyways, it's time to move on to the lesson on the atom. Gotcha.
I can't wait for my next battle. It's gonna be awesome.
Pikachu!
Are we there yet?
We just left.
I just can't wait. But if we have a long way to go, did you pack any snacks?
Yes.
Awesome. Let's take a break and eat.
Later. You can't possibly be hungry already. Didn't you eat before we left?
Yeah, but...
We can stop once we get to the gym. Hey, what's that?
Where's it coming from?
Pika-Bee!
Okay, show us.
Look, it's Plusle and Minun.
What is it?
Where?
Where?
I don't see any. Oh, wait.
What is it?
I think it's a mushroom.
It's so small. I think it's the smallest thing I've ever seen. I think it's the smallest thing ever.
It can't be the smallest thing ever.
Why not?
I mean, it's got to be made up of pieces of something smaller, doesn't it?
This looks like one tiny mushroom. I don't see any pieces.
Just because we don't see something doesn't mean it isn't there. Or something like that.
Let's ask Ciara. I bet she'll know about this.
Hey there, what's up?
Look what Plusle and Minun found.
Wow, that's one tiny mushroom.
Is that the smallest thing you've ever seen?
Or are there smaller things we can't see?
Well?
That's very small, but there's something smaller than that mushroom. An atom. Atoms are the building blocks of
Not wasn't
everything
moving
you see.
being in the close.
Trees, rocks, water,
Well, that's
even
what
you.
happens
All
when the
start
production
with atoms.
is
So
rushed.
everything is just a combination of atoms?
Well, atoms form elements, materials like oxygen, silver, iron, or carbon. Everything is made up of elements or combinations of elements, and elements are made up of only one kind of atom.
I don't see any atoms.
They are way, way too small to be seen. They're much smaller than that mushroom.
How small?
Imagine this. If you had 50 million atoms lined up together, they would reach only about a centimeter.
50 million? Now I know why we can't see them.
Then how do we know they're there?
It takes some pretty powerful equipment, but scientists can see them. They can even see inside of them.
Inside them? If everything is made of atoms, then what's an atom made of?
Let's take a look. The center of the atom is called the nucleus. The nucleus is only a tiny part of the atom, but it's the part with the greatest mass. The nucleus makes up almost all the mass of the atom.
It's like the nucleus is in the center of a bubble. What are those pieces inside the nucleus?
The nucleus is made up of two types of particles or pieces. Protons have a positive electric charge. Neutrons have no charge.
Got it. P for positive and proton.
And neutrons sound like neutral. No charge.
Yeah.
How many are there?
Very
The
perceptive
nucleus
of
of
them.
an atom can be made up of different combinations of protons and neutrons. But you can find out the number of protons in the nucleus of one atom of a particular element by looking at the atomic number.
So if they have different numbers of protons and neutrons, do atoms come in different sizes?
You'd think so, But even though atoms can have different atomic numbers, they're all still about the same size.
But what are those things moving around the atom?
Those are electrons. They have a negative charge. They move around the atom so fast that they create a cloud around the atom.
They can really go!
The protons and electrons in an atom determine its charge. So let's think about it. If an atom has more protons than electrons, its charge would be...
Positive!
And if an atom has more electrons than protons, its charge would be negative.
Yes, but what if an atom has the same number of protons and electrons?
Neither?
Right, they cancel each other out, and that's called a neutral atom.
So I see, everything starts with atoms, even this little tiny mushroom. I want to take a closer look. How about you?
Very well, then. Let us move on.
Let's investigate.
Again, like I said, better get used to me toggling the screen. Because it will not stay still.
Let's investigate this atom. Which word means the center of the atom? Click on the answer. Right. The nucleus is the center of the atom. Which particle in an atom has a positive charge? Click on the answer. You got it. A proton has a positive charge. Click on a proton in the diagram. Exactly. The plus sign shows the proton's positive charge. Which particle has no charge? Click on... That's it. A neutron has no charge. Click on a neutron in the diagram. Exactly. Which particle has a negative charge? Click on the right answer. That's it. An electron has a negative charge. Click on an electron in the diagram.
Like I need to guess.
Exactly. The minus sign shows the electron's negative charge. What's the atomic number for this atom? Click on the right answer. Awesome! The atomic number is the number of protons in the nucleus of an atom. Now, what is the charge of this atom? Are there more protons? Are there more electrons? You got it. The number of protons with positive charges and electrons with negative charges are the same for this atom, so the charge is neutral.
Oh well.
You sure know a
We just
lot
got to
about
see what
atoms
happens
now.
if you get an answer wrong.
Let's see if you can build one. Let's investigate this.
Right, switch up.
Here's everything you need.
Now this is where it gets into...
Here's everything you need. Start by adding protons. Drag as many protons as you want your atom to have into the correct place. Click on the check button when you're finished. Now drag neutrons into place. Click on the check button when you're Try again. Try again. Now drag electrons into place. Try again. Let's label your atom. Click and drag these labels into place. What's the atomic number for your atom? Enter it in the box. Now what's the charge of this atom?
So, protons, neutrons, and electrons are somewhere in this mushroom.
And just think, the same things it takes to make a mushroom can, well, make me.
Hey, how many atoms do you think are in the food you packed?
Oh,
I think we better look at them closer, right?
If you want to eat everything now, then just say it.
Okay, Let's see what we have. Here's a sandwich. I'm guessing this has about 300 bazillion atoms. And this apple probably has 800 chameleon atoms. And...
All right, we've got it. Atoms are everywhere.
And they taste pretty good, too.
Well, that was certainly a corny joke there. But otherwise, that was definitely one of the more amusing lessons. Right? Now on to lesson number 3, in which we will learn more about the biggest star in our solar system, the Sun. I apologize for that pun.
These tall trees make this forest so dark. I hope we don't have much further to go.
It's not just the trees. Look at the sky. Well, I mean, what sky we can see. It's cloudy out anyway.
It's kind of chilly, don't you think? Maybe the sun will come out.
Maybe, but I don't know how much it will help in here.
I'll take what I can get. Even a little bit of sun would be better than this.
Pikachu.
Hey, what's that?
Awesome!
Those would be very fluid there.
But I'm not sure what they're doing.
I'll find out. Let me check the Pokédex.
Blossom, the flower Pokémon. Blossom often live in areas with plenty of sunlight. Blossom dance together for their petals to absorb this light.
Look, the sun is coming out.
Well, that's a nice coincidence.
The blossoms sure seem to be happy that the sun is shining. They're really dancing now.
I feel a lot better now, too. Look how bright it is.
And warm.
What is the sun, anyway? It's like this gigantic light bulb up in the sky.
I know. Just look how it changed our gloomy day around.
And I think it's even more important than just that. I think Ciara would know.
Yeah, let's call Ciara.
Hi there. Wow, that's some forest you're in.
I know. And we're lucky it just got sunny out. It was really dark and kind of chilly earlier.
That's exactly why we wanted to talk to you, since we were wondering about the sun. It sure seems pretty important, right?
Well, we have a sun like yours, and that shouldn't be a surprise. After all, on a clear night, you can see thousands of suns.
What?
Yep, Yeah, this hints them that the mission guides live in a different universe from the Pokémon, from the animes. But snap up, it's best to not think that much into it.
What do you mean?
The sun is a star.
But stars are tiny little points of light in the sky. The sun is big and warm and sunny.
That's because it is so close. My sun is only 93 million miles away from Earth.
Only? That sounds pretty far to me.
Think of it this way. The next closest star to Earth is 20 trillion miles away.
That is far.
It all depends where you're looking from. If I was on one of the farther away planets, like Neptune, the sun would look smaller to me.
So the sun is not that big after all?
The sun is huge. It's about 860,000 miles across. That's about 100 times bigger than the Earth. Gravity is the force that attracts objects to each other. Bigger objects have a stronger force of gravity than smaller objects. The big sun tugs on the smaller Earth and keeps it orbiting around the sun. The same thing goes for the other planets in the solar system.
So our sun probably is a lot like yours. What would it be like if there wasn't a sun?
The planets would just float around in space. They'd be dark and cold. All the light and all the warmth we feel comes from the sun. Even moonlight comes from the sun.
How's that possible? It's moonlight.
The moon orbits around Earth. When it's in certain positions between Earth and the sun, the light from the sun bounces off the moon and reflects onto the Earth. It looks like the moon is producing light, but it's really just rays from the sun. The sun is always on. When the sky is dark, that's not because the sun has less light or has disappeared. It just means that the place on Earth where you are has turned away from the sun for a while.
How does it make all this light?
The sun is a gigantic ball of plasma composed of mostly hydrogen and helium gases. The center of it is called its core. In the core, different gases react with each other at extremely high temperatures, up to about 27 million degrees Fahrenheit. The energy created by these reactions in the sun's core is the energy that makes light and heat for the planets that surround the sun. The closer a planet is to the sun, the hotter and brighter it is.
So the farther planets are darker and much colder?
You got it.
So is the core of the sun what we see up in the sky?
Well, first, make sure you never look directly at the sun. But actually, the sun is made up of several layers of gases, and the core is way hidden by them. We actually only see one part of the sun. It's a layer called the photosphere. Its temperature is about 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
I guess that's a little bit better than 27 million degrees at the core. But,
You still wouldn't want to be there. Of course, you can usually find some sort of cool spots on the sun. Sunspots are dark spots where the temperatures are a little bit lower than other parts of the photosphere. Only about 6,300 degrees Fahrenheit.
Pee-ka-pee!
I know, that still is way too hot. Now there is another layer of the sun. The corona is the outer atmosphere of the sun, and it is much hotter than the photosphere. It can be about 3.6 million degrees Fahrenheit. But most of the time, we can't even see the corona.
When can you see it?
You can see the corona during a solar eclipse. That's when the moon passes between the Earth and the sun during the day. Then, most of the sun is covered by the shadow of the moon, but we can see the corona floating around the moon.
awesome.
But be careful. If you hear there's going to be a solar eclipse, never look directly up into the sky. You can cause serious damage to your eyes.
There's a lot to the sun. Let's see if we got it all. Come on and help us.
Hey, on to part 2.
Answer questions to make the sun appear in the sky. What is the sun? Click on the correct answer.
Easy answer.
That's right. The sun is a star. It just looks different to us because it's closer than any of the stars we see at night. What is the sun primarily composed of? Click on the right answer. You've got it. Burning gases react with each other to create the light and energy we feel on Earth. The sun itself is neither a solid nor a gas, but called a plasma. What force holds the Earth in orbit around the Sun? Click on the right answer. Awesome! Gravity is the force that attracts objects to each other. The Sun has a stronger force of gravity than the Earth because it is so much bigger. What is the hottest part of the Sun? Click on the right answer. Excellent! The core is where all the action takes place. It can be up to 27 million degrees Fahrenheit. What is the part of the Sun that we can see? Click on the right answer. That's it. What we see in the sky is the layer of gas called the photosphere. What part or parts of the Sun are only visible during a solar eclipse? Click on the right answer. Great job! The corona is the Sun's outer atmosphere. We can only see it during eclipses. What parts of the Sun are cooler than the rest? Click on the right answer. You've got it! Sunspots are cooler spots on the Sun. Their lower temperature makes them dark and makes them stand out. What blocks the Sun's rays from the Earth during a solar eclipse? Absolutely! During a solar eclipse, the Moon passes between the Sun and Earth during the day, blocking the Sun's rays from the Earth. That was awesome! Now, how about a bigger challenge? I think you're up for it.
Oh yeah, but bigger challenge for an elementary school student.
Click and drag the labels onto the correct parts of the Sun. Click and drag the labels onto the correct parts of the Sun. Click and drag the labels onto the correct parts of the Sun.
Okay, I got it already.
Click and drag the labels onto the correct parts of the Sun. Click on the hottest part of the Sun. Click on the coolest part of the Sun. That's coolest temperature-wise. Click on the part of the Sun that we can see in the sky.
Easy.
Click on the part of the Sun we only see during an eclipse.
It's the only one left.
Which has the strongest force of gravity? The Sun, the Moon, or the Earth? Click on the right answer. Which object is the Sun most like? The Moon, Earth, or stars? Click on the right answer. Which object or objects do not create any light or energy? Click on your answers, then click the check mark.
Bella Bell. Wow, those blossoms sure look happy.
I guess the Sun makes all of us happy.
It should. We get all our light and energy from the Sun. Without the Sun, there wouldn't be any living things on our planets.
Speaking of light, let's go through the rest of the forest while we've got sunlight on our side.
All right. Bye, Ciara.
Bye.
Bye. Keep warm.
Hey, what's that?
Look. Pikachu. Pikachu.
Nice try, but I think you should leave it up to the blossom.
Yeah. Come on, let's go.
You know what? Yeah, it is. Well, anyway, Wait, well, that brings them into the first part of our story. Right now, we'll be taking our first break. Wait, so I can set up the next part. And when we come back, we will be tackling heredity, photosynthesis, and earthquakes, volcanoes, and tsunamis.
Earthquakes, volcanoes, and tsunamis. This
Okay, here are all...
Here's a picture of our friend Quinn.
I can't wait.
Okay, and we're back. Now we're on part 2 of our stream. Now on to the first part of Actually, disregard them. Moving on to the fourth lesson of our stream, where we'll be learning a thing or two about heredity.
I can't wait to see Mom and Dad back in Petalburg City.
Dad's really excited about the surprise birthday party he's throwing Mom.
And she'll be extra surprised to see us.
Hey, look! Here comes Nurse Joy.
Hi, May. Hi, Max. It's so good to see you two again.
You too, Nurse Joy.
My goodness, May. You look more like your mother, Caroline, every day.
Thank you.
And you certainly have your father's eyes, Max.
Thanks, I guess.
I'll see you at the surprise party. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Nurse Joy. What was she talking about? I have Dad's eyes?
Well, they do look like his. And she said that I look like Mom.
You do kind of look like Mom. It's weird, huh? Why don't you have Dad's eyes? You're my sister, after all.
Well, kids do look like their parents in some ways. Maybe Ciara knows about this.
Hi, May. Hi, Max. What's up?
May and I just ran into Nurse Joy on our way to Petalburg City.
She said all this stuff about how we look like our parents.
Like I have my dad's eyes.
Oh, sure. We all resemble our parents in some ways because certain characteristics are passed from parents to their kids, or offspring. Your eyes look like your dad's because of heredity. Heredity is when a parent transfers a characteristic like eye color or hair color through genes.
Like the kind you wear? But my dad's taller than me, at least for now.
Not exactly, Max. A different type of genes. Genes. Genes are inside us and are like instruction manuals for our bodies to operate. They can determine eye, hair, even impact the way you walk.
So do we have a couple that tell our bodies what to do?
A couple? We have 25,000 to 35,000 genes in our body. Genes come in pairs and are made up of proteins that help build our body. They also have special jobs to do, like determining your eye color, your hair, or even how you'll laugh. Genes line up together like threads to create chromosomes. Chromosomes also come in pairs. All genes and chromosomes contain deoxyribonucleic acid.
Deoxy what?
Deoxyribonucleic acid. That's DNA. Everyone has DNA. It tells us what our bodies are made up of and what we'll look like. All living things have DNA and pass on physical characteristics to their offspring through genes. For example, a yellow flower
I'd much
can
rather
pass
have
on its color
Pokemon
to its
explain this
offspring.
than
How
American
did
Eagle.
my dad pass his eyes on to me?
Remember when I said all genes come in pairs? That means that every parent has 2 copies of each of their genes, but their kids only get 1 copy from each parent. So for things like eye color, hair texture, and everything else about us, you get 1 gene from your mom and 1 from your dad.
So how did I get brown eyes and May get blue if we have the same parents?
That's because one of the genes your parents passes down will be dominant. So even if Max got a gene for blue eyes from his mom and a brown one from his dad, he's still got brown eyes. The brown-eyed gene is dominant. Now for May's blue eyes, your dad must have had his own recessive gene for blue eyes. But the gene he got from his own parent for brown eyes masked that blue one.
So Dad must have passed on the recessive gene to me, just like Mom did.
Wow, so that means you can tell a lot from heredity. Like how tall we'll be? Since May and my dad are both tall but my mom is short, does that mean the tall gene is probably dominant?
Keep in mind that other factors, like your environment or even your diet, can influence some physical characteristics, like your height. But as far as what you got from your parents, you're right, the tall gene is dominant. Other dominant traits are curly hair, dimples, freckles, brown eyes, and brown hair.
So recessive genes
Yeah,
would be
that
straight
certainly
hair and
explains a
being
lot.
short?
Right. Other recessive genes are red and blonde hair, straight hair, being short, green eyes, blue eyes, no dimples, and no freckles.
So did I pick out this outfit because of my heredity, too?
That has more to do with your
Okay,
environment.
that one was
May.
just silly.
Heredity only determines physical characteristics like
what
hair
May
texture
said, not the
and skin
comment.
color. You might have gotten some style and fashion know-how from hanging out with your parents, but that's not your heredity.
So you have no one to blame but yourself, May.
Very funny, Max.
So things like our noses and hands are physical characteristics we get through heredity.
But what about having glasses?
Yes, May. Eyesight is a physical characteristic and can be passed on through heredity.
Yeah, and what about ears, feet, mouths, and even teeth?
Hey, you guys are good at this. Why don't you try out those skills?
Count us in.
Right. The part 2.
Here. Here's a picture of our friend Quinn. In the box that says heredity, drag and drop his different physical characteristics you think are caused by heredity.
Cool. Can you help us choose Quinn's hereditary characteristics?
In the box that says heredity, drag and drop his different physical characteristics. Good job! Hair color and hair texture are determined by heredity.
Well, greetings, us Boomer. How you doing?
Good job! The shape and color of Quinn's chin is based on heredity. That's right. Eye color is a hereditary characteristic. Good job! A person's nose is determined by one of their parents' genes. You got it! Hands are a physical characteristic and are part of Quinn's heredity. That's right. Ears are determined by heredity. You got it. Quinn's mouth is part of his heredity. Now, how about those dominant and recessive traits? Click on the traits you think are dominant. That's right. Brown hair is a dominant trait. That's right. Curly hair is a dominant trait. You got it. Brown eyes are a dominant trait. You got it. Being tall is a dominant trait. Try again. That's right. Dimples are a dominant trait. Good job. Freckles are a dominant trait.
Cool. I want to figure out more about our own heredity, don't you, Max?
Yeah. Can you help us determine our heredity through our physical characteristics?
Oh, that's very cool.
In the box that says Heredity, drag and drop the physical characteristics. Then, drag dominant traits into the dominant box and recessive traits into the recessive box. Ready? Go for it! Excellent! You're right. That's a dominant trait. You're right. That's a dominant trait. You got it. That's a recessive trait. You got it. That's a recessive trait. Excellent. You got it. That's a recessive trait. You're right. That's a dominant trait. Try again. You got it. That's a recessive trait.
Oh, I see.
You got it. Excellent. Excellent. You're right. That's a dominant trait. You got it. That's a recessive trait. You got it. You got it. Excellent. You got it. That's a recessive trait. You're right. That's a dominant trait.
Oh no. Look what they did to my girl.
You're right. That's a dominant trait. You got it.
Awesome! I can't wait to get home to see what else Mom and Dad might have passed on to us through heredity.
I hope I got Dad's incredible training skills and speed.
I'm faster than you are, Max. If anyone got Dad's speed, it's me.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, wait up!
Well, maybe not. Well, perhaps next time, maybe you guys will we'll figure out what you inherited from your parents. Well, but anyways, that was a pretty fun lesson. Now on to lesson number 5, in which we'll be tackling the process of photosynthesis. Oh, and when you look at this, it looks we got everyone centered on Tracy.
Snorlax. Snorlax.
Professor Oak's berry bushes! I can't believe it! There isn't a single berry left! Snorlax ate them all! Man, it was hungry! But what about all the other Pokémon that like orange berries? I guess I'll just have to plant some more. The faster they grow, the better. I wonder what I'll need to make the berry bushes grow. I want to make sure I'm planting them right. I bet Ciara could give me a few pointers. I'm gonna give her a call.
Hey, Tracy.
Hey, Ciara!
Whoa, what was that?
Oh, just Snorlax. It's sleeping in the berry bushes.
I don't see any berries on those bushes.
That's because it ate them all. And that's why I'm calling you.
Okay, what can I do for you?
I'm going to plant some more berry bushes. But since it's Professor Oak's garden, I want to do a good job. Give the plants everything they need to grow.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can definitely help you out there. Plants make their food.
Oh, cool. Plants feed themselves. I don't need to worry.
Well, yes, they make their own food through a process called photosynthesis. But like any food we eat, it's got to have the right ingredients in the recipe. And the recipe for plant food is plenty of sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water.
But how do you feed a plant sunlight?
In every plant cell, there is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll absorbs the energy in the sunlight to power making food from the carbon dioxide and water.
Where does it get the water from? When it rains or someone waters it?
Right. So when it rains, a plant soaks up water from the ground through its roots. The water is then carried up through the stem to the leaves. Now, the leaves breathe in carbon dioxide through tiny holes called stomata. At that point, the chlorophyll in the leaves takes over, using the energy from sunlight to turn carbon dioxide and water into plant food and oxygen.
Wow, so chlorophyll are like kitchens for plants.
I guess you could look at it that way. It's also what makes the plant green.
Whoa, I wish I had chlorophyll making my food. Green is definitely my color.
Well, chlorophyll is only found in plants, but it already makes something very important for us all.
Well, I eat lots of green vegetables.
And you also breathe in oxygen or air.
I love fresh oxygen.
You have plants to thank for it. When the plant takes in carbon dioxide and water, the sunlight converts them into sugar for the plant. It also releases oxygen.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's why planting trees is good for the environment and you.
Wow, I better get to planting. I want to do my part, but I'm going to need your help. Let's show them how it's done.
Very well, then.
Okay, here are all the elements of photosynthesis. Will you help me put the cycle together? Click and drag the right elements into the right blanks, so it'll tell the process of photosynthesis. You can use each element more than once, and for each correct answer, I'll plant a berry bush. Plants need blank, blank, and blank to make food through photosynthesis.
Yes,
Plants need blank, blank,
Hold on, I gotta
and
take
blank
this.
to make food through photosynthesis. Click and drag the right elements into the blanks.
No, it's not. All right. Okay, no problem. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to pause again for a minute. I have to go home help my neighbor. Go up, minute. All right, be right back. She wants some lasagna. Replaced by something
Okay.
Okay. Right. And I'm back. Well, to fill you in fill you guys in on what's going on. Well, my neighbor is unfortunately bedridden. She had suffered a nasty stroke a while back, so she needs all the help she can get. But anyway, back to the lesson. What the? Well, that was a weird glitch.
Okay, here are all the elements of photosynthesis. Will you help me put the cycle together? Click and drag the right elements into the right blanks, so it'll tell the process of photosynthesis. You can use each element more than once, and for each correct answer, I'll plant a berry bush.
Hey, it's a lot of
Plants
work, but
need
it's worth it.
blank, and blank to make food through photosynthesis. Click and...
Yes, plants definitely need water for photosynthesis. All right, sunlight is the energy that powers photosynthesis. Try again. Try again.
Oh, duh.
All right, plants take in carbon from the air.
Water is carried up from the blank through the blank to the leaves.
Through the stem.
Oh, yeah! Water travels through the roots and stem to get to the leaves.
Carbon dioxide is absorbed through the blank.
You got it. The stomata in the leaves absorb carbon dioxide.
Plants use blank to power the process of photosynthesis.
Solar power is a form of energy that comes from the sun. Try again. That's right. Sunlight provides the energy for photosynthesis.
Blank in the plant cell absorbs sunlight.
Awesome. Chlorophyll in the leaves absorbs sunlight.
Photosynthesis makes blank as well as blank.
Right on. Photosynthesis makes sugar for the plant and oxygen for the atmosphere.
Wahoo! We did it! That's the process of photosynthesis for you.
I think you got it down.
Yeah, down to the ground. Just like these berry bushes I just planted.
Mm-hmm. Now that you know what they need to feed, you're ready to raise the roots.
Definitely. Thanks for all your help, Ciara.
Anytime. Talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay.
Alright. After that stumbling, let's get on to part 3.
Match it up. Click and drag the vocabulary word into the bush with the right definition. You got it. Match it up. Nice one. Match it up. You got it. Match it up. Nice work. Match it up. You got it. Match it up. Click and drag the vocabulary word into the bush with the right definition. Nice one. Match it up. You got it. Match it up. Nice one. Match it up. Awesome. Match it up. You got it.
Awesome! Look at how much they've grown.
Snorlax.
Okay, buddy. You can have some of the berries.
Snorlax.
Photosynthesis doesn't just make food for the plant. Looks like it also makes a very good meal for Snorlax.
Snorlax.
Right? Well, that was definitely another interesting, if a bit corny lesson. Anyway, on to the sixth lesson of the Night Owl one, in which we will find out about 3 different kinds of natural disasters. In this case, earthquakes, volcanoes, and tsunamis.
This has been a long trip. I'm ready for a rest.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back to cooking. I have some great new Pokémon food ideas.
How about some ash food, too? All this traveling is really... Hey, look, an Absol.
Absol.
I wonder what it's doing here.
Yeah, Absol don't come down from the mountains often. Isn't it said that Absol appear to foretell natural disasters?
In that case, maybe we should follow it away from here.
Whoa!
You think the earthquake was a natural disaster?
Yeah, I think that's a good guess. Hey, look over there!
That wasn't there before. Awesome!
Not so awesome. How are we going to get across? It's going to take forever to walk all the way around this. Absol.
Whoa. Good thing Absol warned us, so we moved away from that.
I'll say. Wow. All these changes happened so fast. 1 second there's a giant crater in front of us. Next second it's gone. Do you think that's normal?
I'm not really sure, but it looks like things are okay now. Maybe Ciara can explain things a little better. I'll call her.
Hey, what's up? You're both looking a little dusty.
We just saw some crazy stuff. First, there was an earthquake that split open a big crack in the ground. Then all this dirt and rocks fell down a hill and filled it back up.
It's like the world kept changing every few seconds. What is up with that?
What's up is the land around you is always changing. Sometimes the changes are slow and take a long time for you to notice. Sometimes, though, big events can make the landscape around you change in a flash.
Like earthquakes, right?
Yeah. Picture this. Huge plates of land are floating in the ocean. Long ago, some of them ran into each other. Those 2 plates are still pressing against each other. Every so often, the pressure builds up so much that the plates push away from each other.
Slide in different directions?
Uh-huh. Sometimes one piece might slide up, so now there's a shelf where the land had once been even. Other times, the land can stay on the same level, but one might move forward and the other can move back.
What about the shaking?
Think about what happens when you drop a pebble into a pool. You can see waves of water rolling away from where you drop the pebble. The waves move fast and frequently at first, then slow down as they get further and further from the pebble. That's similar to what happens with the land. The line that's created where the 2 big plates of land meet is called a fault line. As the plates of land push against each other, they create a lot of energy. When they finally slide away from each other, the energy is released in forms of waves. The place where the plates slide away from each other, where the earthquake starts, is called the epicenter. The waves of energy travel up and down the line, away from the epicenter of the quake, just like the waves that come from the pebble in the water.
Wow, so earthquakes can change the land where the earthquake began, but the waves can shake things around too.
That's right, and things can shake again after the earthquake. An aftershock is caused by shifting or adjustments around the fault lines where the first earthquake occurred. They can happen hours, days, or even years after the first earthquake.
Is that what caused the landslide that we saw soon after?
Not exactly. The earthquake also shakes loose soil and rock. If that happens on a mountain, hill, or any kind of incline, then all that stuff will come rolling down.
So all the stuff that came down and filled in the big crack there was from a landslide?
Right. And landslides don't just follow earthquakes. Sometimes they come after volcanic eruptions, too.
Are volcanic eruptions caused by plates moving around, too?
Actually, a different kind of pressure. Deep below the surface of the land, it's really, really hot. It's so hot that rock can actually melt. The melted rock is called magma. Sometimes the pressure in an area will build up so much that magma will burst through the surface of the earth. Then the lava...
Wait, doesn't lava flow out of volcanoes?
Nice one. Melted rock below the surface of the land is called magma. When it comes out above ground, it's called lava. The lava explodes above the surface of the land and cools off. It cools into rock. After a while, the cooled lava builds up. Sometimes the explosions will form a steep, sloping mountain. Sometimes it will spread out to form a large area of land.
Yeah,
Whole
me
islands
neither.
that people live on have been formed from cooled lava.
But do the volcanoes keep erupting? I wouldn't want to live on a mountain like that.
It varies. Some volcanoes erupt every month. Some might erupt only once every 100 years. Every eruption isn't huge. Sometimes a small amount of lava might just bubble up to the surface and flow out a small distance. Big eruptions, though, can really just go and go. Then look out. Everything in its path will be covered with lava.
So, how do you know if it's safe?
Scientists are learning a lot about volcanoes and can predict their eruptions pretty well, though not all the time. There are also some positive effects from volcanic eruptions.
Like what?
In areas near volcanoes, the high amount of heat below the ground can be used as energy. Ash from lava makes soil really healthy.
Well, that's good, because I was beginning to think that oceans are a better place to hang.
Actually, there are earthquakes and volcanoes in the ocean, too.
But it's water.
But think about what's below all that water. The ocean floor is land, too, just like the land we live on. When an earthquake happens or a volcano erupts below in the ocean, the water around it is displaced and starts to move. Think of what happens if you shake a bowl of water or suddenly plunge your hand into it.
You'd get waves?
Right, Brock?
See? She's impressed.
Sure. So the ocean earthquakes and volcanoes make these giant waves?
Not at first. These giant waves, called tsunami waves, start out in the center of the ocean and might be only a few feet tall. They look like ordinary waves, but they travel really fast, as much as 500 miles per hour. When they get close to shore, though, the shallow water slows them down. The waves behind them have a chance to catch up. Suddenly, they combine to build into a giant wall of water that crashes onto the land.
That sounds really dangerous. Can you predict tsunamis?
Tsunamis are incredibly destructive. They can wash away forests and shorelines, so scientists sure are trying. Equipment that's used to measure earthquake activity on land is also used in some areas of the ocean to try to predict tsunamis. And of course, if an earthquake does occur on land, then everyone is alerted to the possibility of a tsunami.
Wow. So it's helpful to know all the wild things that can happen on land and in the ocean, so you know what to look out for.
That's exactly right. By studying these events, scientists can better help people. Now, let's see how much you know about these events and the changes they can cause.
All right, then.
Which event's main cause is plates of land pushing against each other? Click on the answer. Right. When plates of land push against each other and build up a lot of pressure, they can slide away from each other, causing earthquakes. Which event happens when water in the ocean is disturbed? Click on the answer. Right. Tsunamis occur when water in the ocean is displaced and becomes waves that roll towards land. Which event happens when melted rock bursts out of the earth? Click on the answer.
Again, like anyone needs to guess.
You've got it. Rock melts below the surface of the earth, and pressure can cause it to explode above the surface of the land. Which of these events is caused by underwater earthquakes or volcanoes? Click on the answer. Right. Tsunamis are caused by earthquakes or volcanic eruptions underwater. Which of these events does not involve a fault line? Click on the answer. That's it. Earthquakes, both above ground and underwater, take place at fault lines where plates of land meet. Which event produces new rock? Click on the answer. Great! Volcanic eruptions take melted rock under the surface called magma and sends it above the earth where it becomes a material called lava. The lava cools into rock. Which event can wash away a forest? Right. A tsunami's waves can rush toward land and wash away a forest in seconds.
And now, on with part 3.
Earthquakes, volcanoes, and tsunamis all happen really fast. Can you help me put the steps in order for each one? Look at these steps that happen before, during, and after an earthquake. Click and drag each step into place.
Oops, try again. That's right. Correct. Good job. Correct.
Yeah, but
Awesome.
guess the crew didn't think that far
Look
forward.
at these steps that happen before, during, and after a volcanic eruption. Click and drag each step into place.
Try again. Almost there. Try again. You got it.
There we go.
Good job. Correct. Right on. All right.
Look at these steps that happen before, during, and after a tsunami. Click and drag each step into place.
Right on. Good job. Try again. Not that one. Try again. Correct. That's right. Good job. That was great. Now let's look at the changes that happen because of these events. Click on 3 changes that happen as a result of earthquakes. Good job. Click on 3 changes that happen as a result of volcanic eruptions. Not quite. Try again. Try again. Click on 2 changes that happen as a result of tsunamis. You go.
Earthquakes, volcanoes, and tsunamis sure can cause a lot of change in a short time.
That's true. They're all part of the living land around us, and living things change all the time, right?
Luckily, Absol warned us of the change that we had today. Now let's get going. Thanks, Ciara.
Thanks, Ciara. Hey, what's that shaking?
I don't feel anything.
I hadn't realized until just now that it's just the earthquake in my heart.
Yeah. Well, see you later,
Thanks,
Boomer.
I think. I've got to run. Bye.
Ooh.
Real smooth.
Took the
Yeah,
words
I
right
thought
out of
so.
my mouth.
Let's go.
Yeah, that wasn't my best performance, but hey, nobody can bat a home 100 every time. Well, anyways, that brings us to the end of round 2. So now we're gonna take another short break, and when we come back, we'll be tackling entering the part 3 of this stream.
You sure learn. Roll over each object.
This is the...
Listen to the weather report.
Okay, so now...
What a beautiful day to visit Hoenn. The weather is perfect.
Pikachu.
Okay, this is a picnic we had at the learning...
Alright, and we're back. Now for our next lesson of the evening, we've got elements, weather maps, and minerals. And of course, as you can see, first up is elements.
Wow, so far that wild Sableye has shown interest in 3 different kinds of rocks. The black ones, the tiny pebbles, and now that big one.
Sableye?
Yeah, I just wish we had a better idea what all these rocks are. Hey, I think Pikachu found more rocks.
Look at that. I wonder what kind of rock that is.
Hey, I think that shiny part might be silver.
Oh, this is exciting. This is new. I don't think we've seen Sableye curious about silver before, and...
Oh, no!
What are we gonna do now? How can we be sure the rock had silver in it now that it's broken?
Overreact much?
Let's give Sierra a call. She'll have some ideas on how we can figure this out. Hi, Sierra.
Hi there. What's going on?
Well, we're observing this wild Sableye and are trying to figure out what all these different rocks around us are. This is really important.
Well, let's get to it then. What's the problem?
Well, we found one that looked like it had silver in it.
Okay, I'm with you.
Max accidentally knocked over a boulder that crushed the rock and broke it into a bunch of pieces. But since it was smashed into tiny pieces, we're not sure if it's still the same thing. It probably doesn't have all the stuff that makes up silver, right?
Actually, it is still silver.
Really? Even though it looks like dust now?
Sure, silver is pure, just like all of the elements. You can break it up into tiny pieces, and it still has the same properties.
So even this little piece is still just as much silver as what we started with?
Yep. In fact, you can break up silver into the tiniest piece imaginable. And guess what?
Still silver?
You got it.
So, what's the tiniest piece imaginable?
An atom. It's the smallest piece of an element. It's so small, you can't see it with your eyes. You need a special microscope. But there's more to atoms than just being small. Atoms can combine with each other to make different things.
Like what?
Like everything. Everything in the world is made of some combination of the elements. Take a look at this stream.
Yeah?
Water is made of a combination of two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. When atoms come together, they form a compound.
I don't know. That sounds weird to me. I don't see how everything could be made up of different combinations of the elements.
But it's true. Even rocks. Even skateboards. Even food. Like a sandwich.
Wow!
And wait till you hear this. Even me! People are made up of different elements too. We're made of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and a bunch of other elements. So, people often think there must be millions of different elements out there if they make up everything in the world, but actually, there's just a little more than 100.
You're kidding.
Nope. At last count, there were about 112 different elements. One for each kind of atom.
Yeah,
Just 112,
this is one of the
huh?
more dated lists.
I bet I could remember them all.
Obviously,
Well, give
more
it a
elements
try.
have been discovered
Let's
in
see.
the
There's helium,
in the nearly
aluminum,
20 years since this lesson
sodium,
was made.
magnesium, titanium, chromium, beryllium.
Whoa, okay. Maybe I can't remember them all.
Sounds like all the elements end in
Actually, a lot of them do. But listen, you don't need to remember each element by name. It's only important to know a few things about them.
Like what?
First of all, most elements are found in nature. Like silver, there are 92 natural elements.
That's almost all of the elements. Where did the rest come from?
Scientists invented them in labs.
No way!
So, are a lot of the elements found in rocks like silver?
Some are.
Maybe you could tell us a little bit more about them. That might help us identify some of these rocks.
Well, how about some practice? Roll over each object to find out what it is made of. This is a picnic we had at the Learning League lab. And though it looks like your everyday picnic, we were surrounded by 3 different kinds of elements. Why don't you explore a little to see what you can find out? Click on something you think might be an element. Actually, not the balloons so much. We really want to find out about the gas that's inside the balloons. Drag the balloons to the right category to find out about the element that's inside them. That's right. There are other elements that aren't metals. They're called nonmetals. Nonmetals are mostly gases, like the helium gas inside a balloon. And the air that we breathe is a nonmetal gas called oxygen. We couldn't survive without it. There's another nonmetal we could not survive without: carbon. It's one of the elements inside us. Carbon is found all over our bodies. And when we breathe out a compound of carbon and oxygen called carbon dioxide. That's a soda can made out of aluminum. Aluminum is one of the elements. But what type of element do you think it is? Drag it to the right category. That's right. Aluminum is a metal, one of the 3 kinds of elements. Silver, gold, and a bunch of others are also metals. There are more metals than any other kind of element. Metals are usually solid, and they're often shiny too. Plus, metals are often found inside rocks. Okay, drag the rocks to the right category. Excellent! Almost every rock contains a semi-metal element called silicon. Silicon is hard and dark gray. It's found in clay and sand too. Semi-metals are a little like the metal elements in some ways, and a little like non-metals in other ways. This is the smallest group of elements.
Pretty cool. So there are metals, non-metals, and semi-metals.
Yep. Sounds like you've got it. Let's see if you can identify the elements in another example.
You ready?
This Okay. Okay, we're going to play a game called Guess the Element. To start off, click on each thing to learn a little more about the main element it contains. This charcoal is made of carbon, which isn't only found in rocks. It's found in us, too. You need to find 6 things altogether. Keep clicking. Salt is made of sodium, which belongs to the largest group of elements.
Polar sand?
These coins are made of gold, which is found inside rocks. 3 more things to go. Cans are made of aluminum, which is shiny and solid. Water is made up of 2 gases, hydrogen and oxygen. 1 more left. This glass is made with silicon, which belongs to the smallest group of elements. Now, some of the items on the table are going to light up one at a time. When one does, you'll have 10 seconds to guess if the element it contains is metal, non-metal, or semi-metal. If you're stumped, you can always click on it to read the clue again. Okay, ready? Go! Aluminum. Yes. Sodium. Oops. Yes. Gold. Yes. Oxygen. Yes. Hydrogen. Yes. Carbon. Oops. Oops. Yes. Silicon. Yes. Good job. So, now you know all about the elements.
Thanks for all your help, Sierra.
Sure thing. See you later.
Bye.
So, a little clumsiness paid off. We wouldn't have figured all this out if I hadn't smashed the rock with the silver.
I guess you're right. Okay,
Let's find some more rocks for Sableye.
Sableye?
And, yep, definitely, and again, and many telltale signs of it being an early lesson. Well, enough about that. Let's move up on to lesson number M, in which we'll be taking a look at weather maps.
What a beauty!
Oh, sorry, I'm, Oh, yeah, number 8. Oh, yeah, Alright.
What a beautiful day to visit Hoenn. The weather is perfect.
Pikachu, Pika.
Hey, look over there. So cool.
Cast form. Pika P.
I've seen that Pokemon once before. It's cast form. Whoa, it changed form.
Pika.
Let's check it out in the Pokedex.
Cast Form, the weather Pokemon. Cast Form can change with the weather and transform itself into appearances of sun, rain clouds, and snow clouds.
Kind of weird is using the Hoenn Dex when at the time this was built,
That's weird.
It would have been during Battle Frontier.
Pikachu.
Huh? Was that a raindrop? But there's not a cloud in sight. Uh-oh. Did I just say that?
Yes. Yes, you did.
Ah, where did it go? Come on, we gotta run for it. I wonder what happened to the cast form. It totally disappeared. I wish we could see it again. Oh, I also wish I knew when this rain's gonna let up. Then we could go find that cast form.
Pikachu.
Who wants to stand around waiting? Let's call Ciara. I bet she knows something about weather changes. Hi, Ciara.
Hey there, Ash. What's up?
It was a really nice day. We saw this cool Pokemon cast form that has something to do with the weather. But then all of a sudden it started pouring rain. I really want to see that cast form again, but who knows when this rain will let up?
That's weather for you. Weather can be tricky because it's always changing. I like to find out which way it's going to go by checking the weather on a map. See, this is a weather map for the area where the Learning League lab is. I check it every day to see what the weather is going to be like.
You read all of that weather junk every day?
Again,
Chunk?
another
No way.
incident
It's
that tells
pictures
them
that tell me what the day will be like.
the mission guides
And it
live
only
in a
takes a
different
minute.
place.
Once you learn how to read the symbols, you can figure out what's going to happen.
Yeah, but what does it all mean? How does weather happen?
First things first, the sun. When the sun's rays shine on Earth, some of them are absorbed into the Earth's surface. Some of the rays are absorbed by the atmosphere, the layer of gases that surround Earth, and some are reflected back into space. But the sun's energy heats the surface of the Earth unevenly. Areas of land heat up faster than bodies of water, such as lakes and oceans.
Oh, is that why water can be too cold to swim in even when it's hot out?
Exactly, but that's not all the temperature differences can do. These uneven temperatures cause the air above Earth's surface to move. Cold air is heavier than warm air, so it sinks, and the lighter, warmer air rises up.
So warm air is always higher, and cool air is always lower.
Yeah, but the air is constantly moving and causes changes in air pressure. That's the weight of the air in the atmosphere pressing down on Earth.
But air doesn't feel like it weighs anything.
Well, it may be light, but we're talking about a whole atmosphere here with humidity and everything.
Yeah, I guess there is a lot of air and stuff in the air.
But it can be light enough to rise. And when air rises up, it leaves behind an area of lower pressure. That means the air is not pressing down so hard on Earth's surface.
Let me guess. An area of high pressure happens when air sinks back down, right?
Right on, because it presses down on the surface of the Earth. And you know, all that moving air is what causes winds.
Ah, that makes sense. What else?
Well, to really understand weather, you gotta know what's up with air masses. That's the key to temperature and humidity.
What's humidity?
Humidity is the amount of moisture in the air. When two air masses bump into each other, the weather changes. The boundary between the air masses is called a front.
Like the front of a shirt?
Not exactly. It's more like being in the front lines, right up in the middle of the action.
Wow, what's that like? I want to report from the front lines.
Well, if a cold air mass approaches a warm air mass, then the front is called a cold front.
Hey, I've heard of that. A cold front usually brings cooler weather, doesn't it?
Uh-huh. It means bust out your sweaters. But when a warm air mass meets a cold air mass, that causes a warm front. That usually leaves behind warmer weather. That's when you'll need your bathing suit.
Pikachu!
What a beautiful thing.
Okay, so now that we all know what causes weather, it's easier to understand what's going on with those symbols on a weather map. Want to practice? Match each weather symbol to what you think it means. The sky will be clear.
You got it.
There will be some clouds in the sunny sky.
Awesome.
A cloudy sky.
All right.
This number shows the temperature. How high?
All right.
High pressure system. Winds in a high pressure system blow in different directions. This usually means the weather will be
awesome.
Low pressure system. The winds blow in the same direction, and it usually means there will be stormy weather.
All right.
Warm front. Temperature and humidity usually increase when a warm front moves in.
All right.
Stationary front. This means that an air mass is stuck over an area. The weather may stay the same.
Awesome.
Rain. A steady rainfall.
All right.
Snow. A steady fall of snow.
Awesome.
Calm. No wind.
All right.
High winds.
Awesome.
Light winds.
You got it. I see what you mean, Ciara. Those pictures can tell you a lot.
Right. So then I know what's coming. Why don't you practice your new weather skills by telling me what the weather here is going to be like? Here's the map. The star on the map is the Learning League lab.
Okay. Now I'm going to need your help. Click on the best answer to each question.
The high pressure area over the park means the weather will probably be
awesome.
The warm front entering the area will probably bring
you got it.
The winds over the area will be
you got it.
The sky over the area will be
awesome.
Nice going. So it's going to be sunny here later today. That means I can work outside this afternoon. All right.
But it's still raining here, and I'm still not sure where I should go to find cast form.
Then you might as well try an even bigger challenge.
I'm up for it. Give us a bigger map. Can you help?
Okay.
And now on to part 3.
Listen to the weather report. Then drag and drop the symbols onto the correct locations on the weather map.
A cold front is moving into Cool City. Rain is behind the cold front in the waters east of Super Duper City. It will be sunny in Awesome Town. There will be light winds over Rad Island. A low-pressure system will bring stormy weather to Chill Town. A warm front is leaving the Peace Plateau. Drag and drop the symbols onto the correct locations on the weather map. A cold front is moving into Cool City.
You got it.
Rain is behind the cold front in the waters east of Super Duper City.
You got it.
It will be sunny in Awesome Town.
Awesome.
There will be light winds over Rad Island.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You got it.
A low-pressure system will bring stormy weather to Chill Town.
Well, I admit, I do like how some of the icons are animated. The team really didn't need to go didn't need to do this. Yeah, but
A warm
I'm glad
front
they
is
did.
leaving the Peace Plateau.
All right. All right, we did it.
You guys are the coolest.
Just slap a cool front symbol on me. Thanks a lot, Ciara. We're gonna see if we can find that cast form again.
Pika!
Good luck. Talk to you later.
Okay, Pikachu. So maybe if we can figure out what the weather will be like around here later, we can see cast form change again.
Pikachu!
Well, there are a bunch of clouds here, so we probably don't want to go that way. Or we could go this way and...
Cast form.
Look, that was pretty full. Now, on to lesson number 9. We will learn a thing or two about minerals.
This is the hottest day ever.
It's hotter than the hottest day ever.
It's so super sizzling out here that my precious paws are melting.
I'm so hot I'm beginning to hallucinate.
Me too. I'm imagining there's a cool stream nearby.
I can almost hear the water running over the rocks.
Hey, wait a second. Don't you hear that?
Water! It's so cool.
I thought you didn't like to swim.
I don't like to melt more, okay? Hey, what's that?
Gold!
Gold? Gold!
Look, there's another one.
And another.
I bet there's lots more where those 3 came from.
We're rich. We're rich.
I'm gonna look so good in a crown.
And the boss will be so pleased. But wait, we've got to find it all first. We'll need tools and something to carry it all in.
We're rich. We're rich.
Shh! Act casual. We don't want anyone to get any ideas and come back here and find our treasure.
We don't want anyone else to get their grubby claws on our glorious gold.
Yeah, we don't want some do-gooders coming here and claiming the gold. We found it. Let's go get those tools.
Look, Team Rocket.
What are they up to?
Probably up to no good.
Pika! Let's find out. They came from over there. Ooh, the water's so nice and cool and clear. Hey, look at those sparkly rocks. Do you think they're gold?
I don't think this is gold. It's too shiny. I think these are just dumb old rocks.
So you mean this can't be gold because it looks too much like gold?
Something like that.
There must be some way to tell the difference. I bet Ciara knows.
Hey, what's up? It's so hot here. Now that stream
that
looks
was pretty
cool.
quick.
It is. But what's even cooler is what we found.
Can you take a look at this? We can't tell if these rocks are gold or not.
Well, they might be rocks with gold in them, but if they're rocks, they're not pure gold.
Huh?
Gold isn't a rock, it's a mineral.
What? What's a mineral?
Minerals are lots of things. First of all, they're found in nature. That means humans don't make them. They're created naturally. Some things found in nature are alive, like trees or grass. But minerals are different. They're non-living substances.
But doesn't that include rocks?
Rocks are those things too, but here's one big difference. Minerals are made of elements, while rocks are made of minerals. Some rocks are made up of as many as 6 minerals.
Huh? So rocks can be combinations of minerals, but a mineral by itself isn't a rock?
Right. Here's one way to think about it. Picture a chocolate chip cookie. To make a chocolate chip cookie, you need sugar, butter, flour, and of course, chocolate chips. Those ingredients are kind of like minerals, and the cookie they make is kind of like a rock. Each rock is a different recipe of minerals.
There's one big way cookies are different from rocks, though. They taste a whole lot better.
How many different minerals are there?
Oh, a whole bunch, and they're made up of different things. Some minerals are made up of pure elements. Gold is a pure element. Other minerals are made up of elements that have bonded together into chemical compounds. Salt is a compound. It's a mineral made up of 2 elements, sodium and chlorine. Rocks, though, can be formed from any group of minerals that happen to be put together. Remember sedimentary rocks?
Sure. Those are rocks that are formed when layers and layers of stuff are crushed together over a really long time.
That's exactly the point. They're made up of any kind of stuff. That's why rocks can look so different. There are very specific types of minerals. Each type has certain properties that help identify them.
What kind of properties?
Let's start with structure. All the atoms in a mineral fit together in an organized pattern. This pattern is known as a crystal structure. Here's the crystal structure for gold. See how the pattern repeats?
Cool!
Each type of mineral has its own crystal structure. Look at the one for salt. Remember, it's a compound of 2 elements.
Wow! It looks totally different.
Crystals come in different shapes and sizes. Mineralogists, scientists who study minerals, can identify all the different types by studying X-rays of their crystal structures.
What if you don't have an X-ray machine to identify a mineral?
Well, seeing the crystal structure is the best way to identify a mineral, but there are other properties of minerals that you can see just by looking at them and touching them. For example, there's the hardness of a mineral.
Aren't most of them hard?
When mineralogists talk about hardness, they mean how easy or how hard it is to scratch a mineral. A soft mineral is easy to scratch and leave a mark. A hard mineral is more difficult to scratch. Mineralogists have a scale they use to compare the hardness of different minerals. Talc is the mineral used to make powder. That's pretty soft. It gets a 1. But diamonds are the hardest substance on Earth. They're so hard that diamonds are often used in drills that cut into rock.
Whoa! Diamonds are pretty and tough.
Another way to identify a mineral is by how it reflects light. Its luster. It's the shininess of the mineral. Luster can be metallic.
Like a piece of metal?
That's right. Like silver nuggets, they have a metallic luster. There's also non-metallic luster. Non-metallic luster can be described in different ways. Pearly, glassy, silky, or greasy are all words that are used to describe non-metallic luster.
What about the color of the actual mineral? Doesn't that tell you what kind of mineral it is?
Color may seem like an easy clue, but it actually doesn't help you identify minerals much. That's because many minerals come in several different colors. The other properties are a better way to go.
I'm ready to find some minerals so I can test out my identifying skills.
That's easy. You can start by looking around outside. But there are plenty of minerals inside your own home. Of course, there are gemstones, the minerals that are used in jewelry. Watches use the mineral quartz to help them run. Quartz is the most common mineral on Earth. Most rocks have some quartz in them.
Can I make a rock watch?
Probably not a good idea. Stick to the pure quartz. Another everyday mineral that you might know is graphite.
Where do you find graphite?
Graphite is the lead in some pencils. Batteries also have graphite in them. And copper is used for wires. Chromite is all over lots of household appliances like stoves, dishwashers, and toasters because it's heat resistant. Chromium plating keeps things from melting or being too hot to touch.
I guess minerals are everywhere.
They sure are. Why don't we see if we can recognize some minerals?
This is the...
Roll over each object to find out what it is made of. Click and drag the rocks into the rock box and the minerals into the mineral box. Remember, rocks are made of minerals, while minerals are made of elements. That's right. That's a mineral. It is made of a pure element. That's right. That's a mineral. It is made of a pure element. That's right. That's a rock. It is made of several different minerals. That's right. That's a rock. It is made of several different minerals. That's right. That's a mineral. It is made of a pure element. That's right. Minerals are made of either pure elements or combinations of elements. Rocks are made of combinations of minerals. That was great. Now let's see what you remember about some of the ways to identify minerals. Look at this mineral. Let's find out about its crystal structure. Which of these is the crystal structure of the mineral? That's right. That's a mineral. It is made of a pure element. What does luster tell you about a mineral? Click on the right answer. You've got it. Luster tells what kind of shine a mineral has. Which of these words would you use to describe a mineral's luster? Right. A mineral's luster is usually described as either metallic or non-metallic. Roll over each...
Once again, on to part 3.
You sure learned a lot about minerals. For instance, you know minerals are found in nature and aren't made by people. But what kind...
Don't ask what happened there. Hang on.
You sure learned a lot about minerals.
Sorry about that. Just
you know minerals are found in nature and aren't made by people. But what kind of mineral would you make if you could make one? Let's imagine. Do you remember what minerals are made of? Choose 3 items to make up your mineral. Click and drag the items into the My Mineral list. Great job! Now let's look at the crystal structure. Click on the structure that belongs with the mineral. You've got it! Now it's time to think about your mineral's hardness. Choose the word that tells what hardness means to mineralogists. You're right. Great job! Now that you know what hardness means, click on the level of hardness you want on the scale that mineralogists use. Now choose a luster for your mineral. Some of the words on the list are words that mineralogists use to describe luster. Others aren't. Click on a word from the list that you can use to describe luster. Great job! Now, just for fun, choose a color for your mineral. Click on the color you want. Wow! You sure did an awesome job creating your own mineral.
Now, what name shall we call it? Well, how about this?
Well, I think you are all on your way to becoming mineralogists.
That's for sure. Now I think I could tell you a lot about any mineral I found.
Then how about the gold, or not gold, that you found?
You're right. Let's take a look at it again. Now, obviously, we can't see its crystal structure.
But we can see its luster. It's pretty shiny.
Well, gold is a metal, so it has a metallic luster. Looks like you're on the right track. But let's try another property just to make sure.
How about its hardness?
I don't think you left a mark.
It must be kind of hard. Does that make it gold?
Let me look up gold. Oh, here it is. Gold's hardness is only 2.5. You should be able to scratch a piece of gold pretty easily, so it can't be gold. But wait a minute. The hardness for pyrite is about a 6, which means it would be much tougher to scratch.
What's pyrite?
That's a mineral that looks an awful lot like gold. In fact, people mistake it for gold so often that it has a nickname, fool's gold.
Of course it's fool's gold. What else would
Who
it
are
be?
you twice calling fools?
You're the fools. It looks like gold.
It feels like gold.
It even sort of smells like gold.
Well, it might be all those things, but we investigated, and it's definitely not gold.
So much for that crown. What a waste.
Guess they should have brushed up on their minerals before bringing all those tools.
They sure should have. Hey, thanks for all your help, Ciara.
No problem. Keep on rockin'. Or mineralin'. You sure learned a lot about mineral.
Oh, when will the trio ever learn? And now the time has arrived. Now the time has arrived to write this up our last lesson of the night.
All right. For this demonstration,
Okay, guys. So
Okay. Now that's taken care of. Awesome. Now, to reiterate, now it's all done to our last lesson of the night. It's learn how just exactly how speed works.
Okay, guys. So, since everyone wants to see different stuff in this town, we'll meet back here in the park in 1 hour to go to my battle.
Pikachu!
But Max is coming with me to talk with some of the trainers, practicing with their water-type Pokémon at the beach. It's going to take us 20 minutes each way.
That's nothing. It's gonna take me a half an hour to just climb up the mountain to take a look at that golem living there.
But I'm going through the woods to the Pokémon Center, and it is the same distance from here to the beach, but it'll only take me 10 minutes. And Brock, you say it'll take you the longest, but you'll be closest to the park. You guys are slowpokes.
Well, Ash, I'm looking in the tourist booklet, and that's the time it says it'll take to get to the beach.
Oh, but look, it says it'll only take me 20 minutes to get down the mountain.
Really? That's weird. I wonder why that is.
Pika, I'm sure there's an explanation.
Yeah, because we have to move full speed ahead if we're going to see the city and my battle.
The times do seem a little random.
Tell me about it.
Wish I could, but maybe Ciara can tell us what's going on here.
Great idea. Let's give her a call. Hi, Ciara.
Oh, hey, everyone. Hold on. Let me put this beaker down. Sorry, new experiment. The liquids react faster than I expected. Speedy little mixture. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Well, I'm trying to meet Brock, May, and Max in the park today before my match. We all want to go around the city exploring, but it's going to take May twice as long to get to the park as me, even though we're about as far away from it. And Brock is the closest, and he said he's going to take 3 times as long, although less on the way back. What's that about?
Well, everyone moves at his or her own pace.
Yeah, but this is crazy. What's causing the difference?
Sounds like you have a need for some answers about speed.
Speed is how fast something moves, right?
Yep, but it's also how slow something moves. Speed is the measure of the distance an object moves in a certain period of time. Speed is usually measured in miles per hour. That means how many miles something will travel in 1 hour's time. Let's take a look at a few examples. A person can run up to 22 miles per hour. That means if the runner keeps going at that same speed, she'll cover 22 miles in 1 hour's time.
Sounds pretty fast.
That's not bad until you consider a sports car, which can drive over 200 miles per hour.
Wow!
But then there's a jet plane. That's 10 times as fast as a car. A jet plane can travel about 2,000 miles per hour.
Can anything move faster than that?
Very few things, but nothing moves faster than light. A ray of light travels about 186,000 miles per second.
But things don't always stay at the same speed. Sometimes they get faster.
That's right. When something speeds up, it accelerates.
But when they slow down?
When an object slows down, it decelerates. So think about it. If you're going downhill,
You can go faster.
that's right. But when you go uphill, you slow down. You decelerate.
I guess that starts to explain some of the weird times for Brock in the mountain.
You're right. It would take him more time going uphill and less time going downhill. But, and this is the key, whether it's moving fast or slow, an object will keep going at the same speed unless a force changes it.
What do you mean?
Well, let me show you. Okay, here's a ball rolling down a perfectly smooth, flat table. It could keep rolling at that same speed until something, a force, stops it, like this cushiony stool.
Oh, I get it. So the stool is the force that stopped the ball.
And if I set the ball down and started it rolling, it would pick up speed again.
It would roll until something stopped it again.
Right, and believe me, there are all kinds of forces that can speed things up, slow them down, or stop them from moving altogether.
Keep talking. Maybe one of them will help us.
All right. Oh, I meant to do that.
Yeah, sure you did. Sure you did.
For this demonstration, I'm going to use a simple ramp to simulate a hill. Okay, now, there's a force called gravity that pulls things down toward the ground. Without gravity, we'd all be floating through the air like in outer space, which would look pretty funny, but be pretty cool. However, it's not like that. So when I roll the ball down the ramp, gravity will act on it. Do you think it'll make the ball speed up or slow down? Pick one. Gravity makes the ball accelerate or speed up because it's an extra force that pulls the ball in the direction it's going, down.
All right.
Now I'm going to bring out my biggest fan. Nice. On the downside, it can be hard to walk on a windy day. Let's take a closer look at this wind. It's another kind of force.
And it's a strong force.
Yeah. Now, when I start the ball rolling this way, with the wind coming that way, will the wind speed it up or slow it down? Pick one.
That's easy.
Cool.
The wind made the ball decelerate or slow down because there was a force, the wind, against it. But what happens when the wind changes direction? Will the ball slow down again or speed up this time?
Neato. It accelerates.
But why did it pick up speed this time?
The wind was blowing with the ball instead of against it. The extra force helped the ball accelerate. Now let me put away this fan. I got one more thing to show you. There's one last force to take a look at. It's called friction, or resistance. It's created any time two surfaces rub against each other, and it's about to get a whole lot of messy. The sand will create friction as the ball rolls down the sidewalk. What do you think will happen?
I'm honestly surprised they didn't tie the friction lesson back into this.
Cool.
All those grains of sand bumped up against the rubber ball. That created friction, which slowed the ball down.
So, the ball decelerated when the wind blew against it, and when it rolled over the sand.
You got it.
Well, that explains why it'll take May and Max so long to cross the beach.
Totally.
Well, the sand will definitely slow them down, but only a little. Sand won't create enough resistance to stop them. That is, unless it's quicksand.
I don't think I have to worry about that. But can other things create friction?
Sure, lots of things, like dirt or grass or pebbles. You just have to figure out what will create the greatest amount of resistance.
Well, that covers Brock again. He's got to walk through all those rocks.
A mountain full. Not to mention the fact that we already said going up the hill will cause me to slow down.
Yeah, and Pikachu and I just have to cross the woods.
Speaking of which, we better get started on our sightseeing.
So to make sure everyone has enough time, let's meet in 2 hours.
Deal! Thanks for all your help, Ciara.
Hey, no problem. Ash, since you have some extra time, want to try a challenge?
Yeah, definitely.
Pika!
For this demonstration, I'm going to use a simple... All right. Let's measure the speed for 5 different modes of transportation to see how fast they are.
Yeah!
Pikachu!
Okay, let's get started. Each one has 60 seconds to go around the track, and each lap is 1/6 of a mile. So, if skis can go 1/6 of a mile in a minute, what's the mile per hour speed? Well, let's think about it. There are 60 minutes in an hour, so that means 1/6 of a mile multiplied by 60
equals 10.
Right. So the speed is 10 miles per hour. What about if the skis made 2 laps in 1 minute?
2 laps is 1/3 of a mile. 1/3 of a mile multiplied by 60 equals 20. So, the speed of the skis would then be 20 miles an hour.
Sounds like you're getting the hang of it. Ready to give the other modes of transportation a shot?
Yeah, let's do it.
Pika-pee!
In 60 seconds, the person riding the bicycle went 3 laps around the track. Each lap is equal to 1/6 of a mile. Now, calculate the speed and select the correct answer. How fast was the bicycle? Try again. Try again. Excellent. Okay, what about the scooter? It did 1 lap around the track in 60 seconds. Each lap is equal to 1/6 of a mile. How fast was the scooter? Awesome. Okay, what about the skateboard? The person riding it went 2 laps around the track in 60 seconds. Each lap is equal to 1/6 of a mile. How fast was the skateboard? Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, what about pushing the wheelbarrow? You could go 1/2 of a lap around the track in 60 seconds. Awesome. Okay, what about the motorcycle? It did 5 laps around the track in 60 seconds. Each lap is equal to 1/6 of a mile. How fast was the motorcycle? Awesome.
Cool, Ciara. Now Pikachu and I should get going,
Yeah.
so we'll meet up with everyone in time. We'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Look, a real Slowpoke.
Pikachu!
Slowpoke.
It's sort of blocking the path across the river.
Pikachu!
It must be going to fish with the rest of the Slowpoke on the other side of the river. I guess we'll just have to slow down, too.
There you are.
We've been waiting a while. Where have you been?
We thought you got lost.
Sorry it took so long. I had the speed figured out, but then our way was blocked by an actual Slowpoke.
But I thought you had a need for speed.
Well, turns out that finding a Slowpoke in your path is something else that can make you decelerate. But it was cool getting a chance to see all the Slowpoke fishing by the river.
Sounds like it was worth the wait.
Pikachu and I thought so, but fast or slow, I'm always ready to go. Now let's head to the match.
Yeah!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that'll do it for this edition of MediaNutso Play. No, and I'll be perfectly, to be honest, yes, it was kind of fun to revisit the Learning League again. Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously all the lessons were pretty corny. Overall, for the time period they were made in, and I'd say they do a pretty decent job at teaching the lessons. Anyways, combo back again, stumbling to find the right words. But when I'm getting at him, well, next week we will be there I go again. And next Saturday's live stream, we'll be doing this at an earlier time, guys. Well, I'll be frank, doing it this late at obviously late at nighttime just isn't working out. Let me rephrase. Start live streaming these at in the evening just doesn't feel right. So next week I'll be bumping from 8 o'clock to 3:30. And when we can get there, and if you know from my community poem, next Saturday we'll be diving into the humongous entertainment library, or more specifically, the first two Putt-Putt games. Putt-Putt joins the parade, and Putt-Putt goes to the moon. Until next time, this is MediaNutso saying, thank you all for joining me on my return to live streaming, and I'll see you on the next one. And hopefully it'll turn out better than this one did.